I'd like to open the Marlborough School Committee meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, I thought SAC was here tonight. Oh. They are. All right.
She's got it.
Do you know if anyone else is coming?
No, I know Tim can't make it. He has another speech, but I don't know about the others.
Okay. Well, you're on then.
Okay, good. I'll go back to rehearsal. Okay.
So you go up to, can you make sure the little green light's on? There you go. Okay, and just let us know your name because you're new to us.
Okay, I'm Sydney Kins.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so I'm a senior. Today I will be talking about everything the music department has done this year and how it impacted the students. Here's a little bit about my background in the music department. I've been in mixed chorus all 4 years of high school and took music production my junior year. I was recommended for Tri-Am my sophomore year and was elected treasurer my junior year. I then auditioned for both the a cappella and wind ensemble my junior year and got into both, but then decided that I wanted more so I could help out with concert band. Enough about me. Let's talk about the amazing things the music department has accomplished in my time at Marlborough High School. We have won numerous types of awards, whether it be medals at MICA, MAJE, and other festivals. We also won Best of Class for 5 of 6 ensembles at one of our festivals. Lastly, we have outstanding individuals that have won awards, gotten into districts, and even the all-state competitions. This is just the surface of what the music department has accomplished, and it's something the music department is very proud of. There are 2 main accomplishments that have already happened this year that have impacted the students. The music production studio is amazing. I took the class last year where it consisted of 1 computer and everyone staring at the same screen and only 1 person working on the project at a time. I have friends that take the class this year and they are showing me how they are working in groups to make their own recordings in just a few weeks. They are able to use the 20 MacBooks we have to work on projects individually and get a full class of how to use the software. In addition to the music production classroom, the fundamentals class was impacted by these computers. We are able to use the online textbooks and use them to work on activities that help us with learning notes and rhythms. You cannot teach the sound of music on a paper. You need to listen to it. With the new technology, everyone can have their own computer and headphones and work at their own pace. The next big accomplishment is the scholarship for private lessons. I had the privilege to take the lessons last year, but being a junior that had college next year and prom, $20 a week got pricey. I shared the lesson with a friend to split the cost, but imagine what more I could have learned if I was able to take them by myself. This year, unfortunately, I'm too busy to schedule lessons, but the scholarship fund is already changing so much in the department. I was also selected to be the mixed chorus assistant conductor this year, so when our director, Mrs. McNulty, is unable to come to school, I teach the class. When I saw chorus the first day of school and how 90% of them were freshmen, I was nervous. There are different expectations we expect at a high school level. But when I saw the amount of people that wanted to do our annual district festival, I was blown away. There were about 6 freshmen signed up, which is a lot. I have also taken a second to look at the private lesson list, and I see a good amount of them being freshmen. Music lessons are always so expensive, and it's hard for music kids to get help, especially singers. Your instrument is a part of you, so you need help from professionals. These teachers have a good way to boost your skill and confidence like I've never seen before. In conclusion, I can only see growth with the music department. The technology the kids have gotten this year to learn at their own pace and the help with paying for music lessons so kids can have the confidence is remarkable. The music department is not only trying to be strengthened as a whole, but we are trying to strengthen individuals for life after high school. Thank you for listening.
Wow. That was amazing. I think you didn't even take a breath through that whole thing. No, that's really great. So I'm glad to hear that the new technology is working out well for you.
Yeah.
That's great. So you're a senior.
Yes.
So do you plan on pursuing music after high school?
I plan on going more into like the math education, but I do plan on keeping music, and I've actually gone to the middle school and helped with little lessons, and I do see myself possibly being a music teacher. I taught a kid how to read bass clef that I had learned a month prior, and when they actually were able to read the notes, their faces, they just smiled, and that's what I want in life. So it's just to see kids smile.
That's great. Awesome. Any questions? Mrs. Hennessy?
So, Sydney, musical, are you going to be a part of trying out for musical? And that might be coming up shortly, right?
Yeah, the musical is happening. The auditions are happening in a few weeks, and then the musical will be in March. So yeah, I'm going to do the musical.
And do you have insight what that's going to be this year?
Oh, it's West Side Story.
Okay, well, I was looking for the smile, exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
So, I will say, I appreciate all of your enthusiasm around the music program, because you speak to it very well, because you're exceptionally passionate about all of it, so thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Gotta go back to rehearsal.
Okay. Thanks for coming. Okay. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. In support of goal number 2, increase the rigor and relevance of vocabulary for every student by adopting language objectives into our daily lesson planning, Michelle Blair and Lynn Medallion trained our directors and supervisors on language objectives on November 5th. I'm thankful that we have Lynn and Michelle's expertise and willingness to continue to train our administration for a common language and expectations for language objectives. On November 6th, staff were able to choose additional trainings in this topic area, and I stopped by to see the great work in Lynn Medallion's session at the Wickham School. Very proud of this. On November 5th, I met with staff at the Richard School as part of my entry plan. In addition, I'm opening my survey tool for any community member who could not meet with me. And as I go to the schools, the principals are including the survey link in the reads, and we'll be opening it up for the greater public in the near future. And even today, I did 3 entry plan meetings with PTO members from Jarrick, Kane, and from Wickham. So as we continue to do this work, I'm continuing to set up times with the schools to meet with people and continue to gather information. At the first meeting in December, I'll be asking the committee to create a new position for principal of the yet-to-be-named K-5 elementary school on Poirier Road. It's my intent to hire a new principal on July 1st of 2019 so that this administrator can work in coordination with our principals to learn our curriculum expectations, learn to use our evaluation tool, be an active member of the school building committee, and be prepared to open our new school in September of 2020. I'm including a copy of our principal hiring process tool for you to review as well. Thank you. That's my report for this evening.
Any questions? I actually have a question regarding the SurveyMonkey. How will that be pushed out to families? And will it be pushed out to the community at large as well?
Yes. So to families is relatively easier because we have everybody's information and we can push it out via Aspen through the app. Not only through the app, but we can also send emails home that have that link. I'm not going to do a Connect Ed message, voice message. I'm just going to send it out through those areas, and also encourage the principals to talk it up. In the month or so, we'll have it open. And in the community at large, we'll put it on the front facing of the website, and I'll encourage people as I meet with them to go onto the tool and use it.
Great. Thank you. Yep, Mr. Walter.
Thank you. Mr. Bergeron, I was just also wondering, in addition to the principal of the new elementary school, do you anticipate hiring at some point prior to the opening other sort of senior staff like the AP or any other individuals? And if so, how far in advance of the opening would they be hired?
That's a great question. My intent is to hire the assistant principal that the year the school is opening. So that would be in July 1st of 2020. And having the principal on board is very important for us, and my leadership team has been discussing it for some time, not of just the work that the building committee has to do, but we want someone to be very successful in opening this new school. So we want them to be part of our culture, learn our expectations, and be ready from day one to manage a new school in our system.
Great. Okay, Mrs. Murphy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whitcomb STEM Week. Through our partnership with I2 Learning, the students and staff of the Whitcomb School engaged in 5 days of project-based learning during Mass STEM Week, October 22nd to the 29th. All project materials were provided by I2 Learning, and over 80 staff members were trained during the summer to facilitate specific grade-level courses. Grade 5 was the Mystery at Loon Lake. Grade 6, Building a Lunar Colony. Grade 7, kinetic sculptures, and Grade 8, surgical techniques. Teachers and support staff worked tirelessly to fine-tune and modify lessons, with many taking on topics that were clearly outside of their comfort zone. Through their example, teachers demonstrated that risk-taking is an important part of learning. It is easy to see that students that were engaged, excited, and having fun while thinking and learning in new ways. Visitors welcomed during the week included Commissioner Riley, Mayor Vigent, Superintendent Bergeron, Senator Eldridge, Representative Gregoire, Representative Gentile, members of the school committee, members of I2 Learning Team, and engineers from Raytheon, Boston Scientific, and GE Life Sciences. Whitcomb hosted a STEM Week showcase on Monday, October 29th, that included an after-school open house for parents and a STEM career discussion panel. Both were very well attended. A highlight of the week was walking into the Whitcomb School and seeing all staff and students wearing STEM Week t-shirts, with a design created by 8th grader Alex Banos, and the shirts were printed in colors aligned with each grade. Through the generous donations of Boston Scientific, GE, I2 Learning, Metro Southwest Workforce Board, and Quest Diagnostics, everyone demonstrated their support for STEM Week. Overall, STEM Week was a great success for everyone at the Whitcomb School. On November 6th, we had our first full day, or our second full day professional development day. And attached to my report, you'll find the November 6th choice sessions for all MEA members. Educators were asked to register for a morning and an afternoon session. So most educators had 2 sessions. Select paraeducators were assigned to safety care training or to Pathways boot camps, but all others completed 2 separate trainings at Whitcomb School and at the high school as well, EL strategies and succeeding with students from poverty. Over the last month, we've had a couple of administrative trainings. On October 30th, approximately 55 administrators and lead teachers attended a training titled School Leaders, Skills in Supporting Student Social and Emotional Development. It's an overview, professional support, and educator evaluation focus. This training was designed to support school and grade level leaders to support the work that our district trainers are leading in each of the buildings. As well as all new Unit B members are continuing the course, supervision and evaluation for new administrators, and attending in-district trainings designed to support all of these new administrators through the first year of the evaluation process in Marlborough. 2 updates from Marlborough High School. The first, the Reality Fair, was held at Marlborough High School on October 30th. Over 30 industry partners from the Marlborough business community spent the day interacting with students and delivering valuable life lessons regarding financial literacy, education, and the impact of major life decisions. They appreciate everything the Marlborough industry community does to ensure that our seniors have strong role models and receive sound advice as they get ready to graduate. And finally, the 8th grade Marlborough High School visits. Marlborough High School has been hosting most of the 8th grade students. This happened on November 5th and 7th. Students received a presentation which highlighted all of the incredible opportunities offered through MHS. Students then participated in a tour of the school led by student mentors. The feedback has been extremely positive during the post-tour sessions with 8th grade students, and the final 8th grade team will visit on November 16th.
Any questions? Mrs. Hennessy?
Quick question about the STEM Week. I loved being over there and getting to see all of the interaction. I guess my question is, I'm assuming, but I'd rather not just assume, that you all are going to be doing kind of a download, like the engineering process, kind of seeing what worked, where maybe some of our struggles may have been, and how we can improve it for down the road. I'm sure it was a huge undertaking for everyone in the school, and I have to say, it was impressive to see, but I could really see how it was pushing our staff to, in some ways, some of them get out of their comfort zone and do something different. So I give them a lot of kudos because it didn't seem like an easy task to pull off, but I thought that they did a fabulous job. So compliments, but I'd love to hear how the download's going to happen on hearing about things.
So, I'm sorry,
no,
did you
that's
want me,
okay.
did you want me to? Okay, so I spoke specifically to Brian, and he's going to be doing exactly that. And I asked him for when that happens, I'd like to be present, because I'd like to hear it myself. Because I think anytime you do something like that, there's obviously going to be some pitfalls you don't expect, and then things we can learn from and things we can get better at. So, but overall, just really pleased with the go-get-em attitude by our teachers, who just took it by the horns and, in a lot of cases, just made it happen, just through their sheer will, force of will, which is just great.
Yeah. I guess I mentioned that, getting the feedback only because I know when we were walking around together, Kathy Rickoff was receiving comments from folks as she was going. So I'm hoping, to formalize it a little bit more, because I think the staff members will have good insight about things that were really successful and other things that maybe we can do better next time. But it's all a part of learning and how to approach it for next time. But it was great. Loved it. Mr. Walter.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to reiterate my thanks, and I think the committee's thanks to staff, teachers, and most of all the students. You could tell there was a huge amount of buy-in. I had an opportunity to participate in the walkthrough along with some others, blown away by the student projects and the work that they had clearly put into the projects, and that would have obviously been with the help of their teachers. So a big kudos to the teachers as well. And obviously, thank you to I2 Learning and all the other corporate sponsors and helpers for making this happen. My daughter is in 5th grade, so I was given a daily briefing about the mystery at Loon Lake. And I can tell you, she and her friends were all in and loved it. And I think Miss Ryan had the same sort of feedback from one of her brood as well. So thank you to everybody. Great work. Great job.
Mrs. Matthews.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but I did hear a lot of positive feedback. But Mrs. Murphy and I are actually attending the STEM Summit tomorrow, and there is a session, Exciting Students in STEM Week Reflections and Lessons Learned.
Great.
So the state is actually doing
Okay.
a reflective of the input they've received also, so it'll be interesting to see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Mrs. Murphy, I'm sure will be able to report back on that, or one of us will
yes.
at that point, so.
Awesome. Great. And I just want to mention that I was reading through the course offerings, and I was kind of bumming out that school committee members don't get to go to some of these. I mean, there's some really great, I might have to check in with Mr. Plummer on this geocaching. I've always been, obsessed with geocaching. I don't really understand what it is, but I might have to call our friend Mr. Plummer. So I would love to, I know you get feedback from the staff as to what they thought, and, when you do get all that compiled, we'd love to see it. But I would think that people were pleased with the choices.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, no minutes tonight. Public participation? Public participation? Seeing none. Action items, Akiruna, Japan 2019 educational visit. Mrs. Patel. Am I going to say something? Yes. Do you have a microphone? Could you use Tim's? He's not using it.
So, I don't have the dates because I didn't bring my computer, but I
We have
have November 11th to, October 11th to,
October 22nd.
we are going to amend that date to October 21st. Apparently on October 22nd, the Emperor of Japan has his ascension at Narita Airport, so we're not sure if we'd actually make it to the airport on that date. So it may have to be a slightly shorter trip by a day. So after celebrating the 20th anniversary this year, and you will hear more when the students come in at the next school committee meeting, we have received the dates for next year. So the students from Marlborough will travel on October 11th and return on the 21st.
No, October 10th.
We'll leave on the
They'll leave
21st.
Well, they'll
10th,
leave on the
right?
10th,
Yeah.
yes. And
Sorry.
return on the 21st, sorry. I didn't bring my papers, I feel so. And then this year, we are
Yay, once again.
excited to have the students from Akiruno come during the school year.
Yay.
The dates, I think, were mentioned in the...
October 30th to November 7th.
October 30th to November 7th. I'm actually asking for that to be extended just a little bit, by a day or two. But having spoken to Mary Z, and we think that we are able to get them into the schools and be a part of the community, actually. So I am asking
So these
for-
dates are not confirmed.
They are confirmed, but
They're in draft.
they could change. I would say the October 11th to October 21st is confirmed. And then the October 30th to November 7th probably won't change, even though I will ask, but it is the dates.
Do we always do it so, back when they were coming during the
Yeah.
school year, back to back like that? I just
Yeah.
don't recall it being that close.
I
but-
remember they're always here Thanksgiving. I mean, just before Thanksgiving, but they're definitely here for Halloween. And they're always here for a Friday night football game. I know that. It is a very quick turnaround when they do come in the school year. Yep. So I am asking for the school committee's approval of the dates that have been presented to you.
Motion to approve the 2019 Akaruno exchange dates.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Oh,
Can I
wait,
just say,
discussion?
I'm thrilled that the kids are going to hopefully be coming back during the school year. So thank you to all of you that have been working really hard on trying to make that happen. I think their experience, as well as the community's experience, will really boom a lot more with them all being here during that time frame. So thank you for all you guys have done on trying to get them back during the school year.
Yep, I guess it's a definite, and when it does happen, I'll be calling on some people to help me out, so that, I can keep my day job. So,
All right, sorry.
We'll have plenty of help.
Now we can vote.
All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Thank you. FY19 operating budget transfers. Mr.
you.
Diaz.
You have a large budget cleanup exercise in front of you, if you will, for your consideration. Due to some new contracts that were ratified after FY19 started, as well as some reallocation, we had some overages in some accounts, and I'm trying to clear those up by asking you to accept these transfers tonight.
Motion to approve the transfers as presented.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you.
Carries. That was easy. Assabet Valley Collaborative Quarterly Report.
Thank you.
Superintendent Bergeron.
And as I have been appointed to the Assabet Valley Collaborative Board, it's my duty to provide this update on a quarterly basis back to the school committee. And thankfully, Kathy Cummings puts together this fantastic highlight section for us, so that way I can give you this from them, and I don't have to do an oral report. But if there are any questions on this, please, let me know, and I'm happy to get any clarification. But this is just part of our quarterly report from our local education collaborative.
Any questions, Mr. Bergeron? Seeing none.
Motion
Entertain a
to
motion?
accept and put on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. Mrs. Hennessy, policies for first read.
Thank you very much. So we have been a busy little policy group. We have, exactly. So in front of you this evening, you will see a number of the Chapter 2 policies, as we are going to just continue to keep on working on through to try and update things. and I'd appreciate if you could review a number of them. Ms. Matthews, I will say that we do have a policy or two that we came up with that needs your attention as secretary. So I'd like to, I'm just saying that out loud so that we can get your perspective on it, because as you can see, there are a number of duties of the mayor, duties of the vice chair that we needed to review. And as you're kind of guessing, maybe, duties of the secretary is another one that's in there that we need to also look at. So before you tonight, we have a number of Chapter 2 policies, a mild update on social media, internet acceptable usage, and the computer network user agreement. I feel like there were also some, the removals are later. So, first read on all of those, please.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question, Madam Chair? Can I assume that if there's no strikeout or red, that the change is just the logo?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yes, that was good. Good call.
Thank you.
Okay. And policies for removal.
Okay, so Mr. Walter will be very happy. We are working on policy,
throwing 'em out
exactly.
left and right.
All for you, Mr. Walter. We have developed our
channeled you.
committee for policy removal. It's an ad hoc. And we have two that we are presenting here for consideration for removal. And, if first read, and then you guys can take a look and remove them next time if you would prefer, whatever you would all like to do. Yes, sir.
Just for, if anybody's wondering why we're trying to remove the policies are already stated in Mass General Law. So there already is a conflict of interest law, there already is an open meeting law. So by having a policy, all we would be doing every year is just updating whatever changes the legislature makes to these two laws. So part of it is, we're under these obligations anyways, so.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
clarity.
And for further clarification, just for the public's edification, we have policies in our manual, some dating back to prior, before ed reform. So there are some policies that are just not necessary anymore because they've been factored in to, as the superintendent said, Mass General Law. So that's why we're cleaning up things.
So thank you very much.
You are welcome. On to acceptance of donations and gifts. Let's just find that here. Okay. So, we have the first gift, Boston Scientific Grade 5 Makerspace Classroom and After School Gems Program, $3,000.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Number 2, the I2 Learning Grant for the Wickham STEM Week as a sponsor, $1,500.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Number 3, Boston Scientific for Whitcomb STEM Week, $2,000.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Number 4, GE Healthcare Life Sciences for Whitcomb STEM Week, $2,000.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none? All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Number 5, Mass Hire Metro Southwest Workforce Board, also for Whitcomb STEM Week, $1,500.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Quest Diagnostics, Whitcomb STEM Week, $1,000.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. And number 7, Mass DESE Early Literacy Grant for Jarrick School, $34,000.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Oh, a premature vote. Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Excited by that one. Carries. Thank you. And reports of school committee subcommittees. Mrs. Hennessy.
Thank you very much. So policy does have another meeting coming up next week, right before Thanksgiving. We will give thanks for policies, November 20th. So that will be coming out in a full agenda, and you'll receive supplementary paperwork shortly. Thank you.
Any other committees? Mrs. Ryan.
Hello. The school building committee met on November 1st. We met because we have received the bids for the actual school building from 5 companies, and all bids were very close, which is good news. It means our bidding process our estimates were on target. We did vote to award the contract to Fontaine Brothers. They were the lowest bid. Their contract should be finalized soon if it's not already. The good news is currently our construction budget is almost $7 million under budget. So that's a plus, and that is with a $1.6 million contingency for in case anything should come up in the meantime. An update was given on what's happening currently. The retaining walls are complete. They hydro-seeded behind the walls where it was needed. 3 of 4 basins were completed. If by now they might all be done. And they will be done with the site work as of November, so that potentially Fontaine Brothers could start as of December 1st. So that is good news. So we are on budget, or below budget, and on time for opening. Should I share a fun fact?
Please.
So the fun fact is the Fontaine Brothers, who were awarded the contract, one of the Fontaine Brothers, their grandmother's, I wrote it down, I've heard a couple of versions of this, but the grandmother's uncle was Raymond C. Richer. Meant to be. So, and Fontaine Brothers also did build the Mount Vernon Group model in Athol, and they've built a few other buildings with Mount Vernon Group too. So I think it's a good choice overall. So I'm excited. That ends my report. Thank you.
Yeah, very exciting. It's getting real. So
It's real.
it's real. So, when they actually do the breaking of the ground, will we have a breaking of the ground? We actually saw.
And hard
Yes,
hats.
We actually
Only
met.
if you're on the school building committee. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We'll invite you.
The Fontaine Brothers actually had a booth at the vendor fair at our conference, so we got to chat with them a little bit, and we were putting them up to hard hats, so we'll see.
Absolutely. Whenever
Arthur's
we have
bringing the shovel.
groundbreaking. This is a project that I think the state overall needs to look at, because not only do we come in under budget, but before we came in under budget, we were the lowest cost project in the state this year. So now, really look at it and you say, well, going to model school, not only did we save costs, but I don't feel like we cut out any of our educational program. We're getting it in a faster timeline, and this is the second time they've built this exact school. So it really will assist the community in getting this done in a timely fashion, under budget, within scope. Just fantastic all around. So very happy.
Yay. Awesome. Any other committee reports? Mrs. Matthews, anything to report? I guess not. Okay. Moving on to members' forum. Mrs. Hennessy.
Sorry, a few things. I believe on November 15th, there was going to be a meeting open for some of the parents, the 8th grade parents, prior to the parent conferences at the high school. And I just wanted to actually make sure that that was mentioned, because, I don't know that there's been a lot of communication about it. I know that I had received, because I have an 8th grader, I received an email from Mr. Riley, but I did just want to make sure that that was mentioned. Dessert Theater is this weekend on Friday and Saturday evenings. So if if you're looking for something to do, come to the Little Theater at the high school and support the kids. They would love that. And I'm sure we're going to get a rundown from all of the school folks from the high school, but I did want to give a lot of compliments to a bunch of our sports teams. The fall season was phenomenal, and a number of them, have moved forward into, playoff season, hitting certain areas, but they were all really, really successful. I believe cross-country still has a number of kids competing at a higher level, so a lot of kudos to the athletic department and all of the coaches, and a lot of the staff also, because I have to say, not many games were had without John Travers in the stands cheering for all kinds of kids with no coat on. But it was great to see. I am appreciative of seeing the staff there to continue to support the kids, because it's, when you talk about the SEL, that's just another arm of how to make sure that the kids are feeling supported all along the way. And on that same note, compliments to Jill Moran for all of the work that she's done on trying to get pictures coming in from staff, so kudos to the staff on getting her things, but to her keeping up a lot of information in many different aspects about great things that are happening in the school district. So thank you. That's it.
I also wanted to just share that the high school, I just lost it. What day is today? Tuesday. Thursday night is the parent-teacher conferences at the high school, and during that, the MHS All-Nighter Committee is holding a vendor night from 6 to 8:30. So if you have children and you're going to the conferences, or even if you're not, come by. They're going to be in the main foyer. Of various different vendors, crafters, raffles, and so forth to support the all-nighter. So I would encourage everybody to come from 6 to 8:30 is when it's happening. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I forgot one more, I'm sorry. November 18th, which is Sunday, the Music Association is having a mattress fundraiser. And yes, that all sounds a little weird, I get it, believe me. But the thing is that some point in time, people need mattresses, and guess what? They're just going to be setting up just like it would be a mattress store in the cafeteria, and it all gets transformed with all of the crazy, wonderful mattresses like the Sealy and the Tempur-Pedic and the this and the that. It just is in there, and then there's a break that comes back to the music program. So if you are contemplating it, there is money off. So it's sales, but it also helps out the music program. So I forget the time, I'm going to say like 11 to 4 or something like that. But take a look and think about it, because if you wanted a mattress, now's the time. So there you go.
That's a new one for me. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Mrs. Matthews?
I've reviewed the warrant and will be signing it and reviewing it with Mr. Diaz. So.
Thank you. So should we mention that we've been at a conference, our annual Massachusetts Association of School Committees and Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents joint conference, and lots of learning was had by all. I would like to suggest that we take some time, either at an upcoming meeting or even schedule a workshop meeting, that we can kind of debrief amongst ourselves, because there's a lot of good information out there that we all took in, and it would be, nice to hear what each other learned, as well as see if we can start implementing some of the good stuff that other people are doing. Is there a feeling like we want to do it in a regular meeting, or try to come up with a date for a workshop?
I personally would prefer a workshop, because I don't know necessarily a workshop.
Yeah,
Okay,
agreed.
works, so. And as secretary, you can try to
Okay, I can do
herd
that.
us kittens.
I'll try to herd the
And,
kittens.
That would be swell. Thank you. Any other members?
Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Oh, yes, next
Happy-
week. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy shopping.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. We are adjourned at 8:12.